What's up, guys? Whoa, breaking my chair here. How's it going? How's it going? How's it going? Oh, check it out, Merlin. How's it going, man? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, so yeah, I don't know if you saw the headline, but just doing a very abbreviated stream today, just because I've got some freelance animation work that I've been doing good myself. Cool, man. Welcome. Yeah, so I'm doing some freelance animation work, and that sort of like wreaked havoc on the schedule. So what I'm doing is just taking my lunch hour, basically, and just jumping on doing the stream, and then I got to go back and do the animation work. So the beta version is out. Yes, I know. Shocker, isn't it? Yeah, it's been a while, man. Yeah, and I'm gonna be doing an update here very soon. Just plugging in a bunch of new features, but the beta that's out there is in pretty good shape. And what I was working on, there's a lot of fixes that have gone in since that version. That a lot of people have pointed out various things that I completely missed. Some of them I knew about, some of them I was still trying to get set up. But, and so what I was working on, the last few bit of items, oh crap, I don't even have my to-do list up yet. Let me fix that. Downloading right away. Sorry for the unfocusing you from what you wanted to say. No worries, man. Welcome. It's good to see you again. No, my to-do list has shrunk significantly, which is fantastic. What I was working on most recently was teaching the AI to play better. So I was working on, let's see, do I have it down here? Yeah. So this is what I was tackling is, and I started this on Friday, and it actually came together very, very nicely. Villager management, specifically teaching the AI how to send out villagers, when to send out villagers, and kind of balance that kind of thing, right? Which, if you remember in the game before, the way it was, well, actually in the beta that's currently available to you guys, the AI just sends out 2 villagers right from the get-go, and that's just kind of foolish. There's no reason to send out villagers until you start falling really behind, right? Because by sending out villagers right away, you hamper yourself. That means your reload times are going to go down significantly, and you're going to have a disadvantage. So I'll show you, let's see, I'll do a quick demo here to show you the difference now. Let me make sure I got this set up for 3. Yeah, that's good. All right. So I'll fire this up, and you'll see that the AI plays much, much better now. Much more challenging. Because he's not sending the villagers out until later on, that means he's able to keep up with the fire rate, right? So, let's get this going here. Oh, I don't have music going, do I? Let me fix that. There he goes. Oop. All right. Boom. All right. And another thing I'm going to adjust before I kick it out is, so we just tag the power up for speed up. Hawk was suggesting that the sleeping power up, which puts the opponents to sleep for 15 seconds, he thinks it's overpowered. And you know what? Giving it a little more thought, I think Hawk might be right. So I might be dialing that down. So what'll happen is the let's see, the power up, the speed up power up. Oh, you see that? He sends out villagers. He's kind of cycling through the different choices there. And let's see, I'm gonna knock him out here just because I can. See, and that's cool. So he went. First he's doing 1, but then I hit another building and he readjusted and did 3. And I hit. Whoops! If I knock out all his buildings, see, start walk and talk to Stephen Hawkins. You ain't avoiding me this time. How's it going? Welcome, welcome. Yep. So now you can see he's doing this desperate attempt to try and get a building rebuilt. And I'm just going to be a jerk about this, but... Oh, I missed it. There it goes. And what I don't have yet is, remember the little green plus down here, right? So you can tap that. So when they're rebuilding, they'll rebuild faster. And I haven't added that to the AI's repertoire yet. So in this case, he's just kind of stuck just doing the usual thing. But so he's doing the desperate move, right? Just to get a building built back up. And of course he can't fire because he has no one left on the catapult to reload. But it's just, it's nice because the AI is just playing smarter now, right? And if I was playing a real game, then I'd start going after all these secondary items so I could win more coins, right? And then he's trying to buy himself more time. And I'm trying to win myself more coins. But this is an offline one-player game, of course, but normally this is what you would do when you're playing. Like so. And now I can go after it, and now I'm going to be too late, so I got to go back here. And so he split it up. That's nice. So he just sent out 2 guys to keep repairing buildings, and then he brought 2 back. But then, since I knocked out his buildings again, then he sends out all 4 again, just to make a last desperate attempt. But in this case, it's going to be too late. Boom. Finished him off. So that's it. That's a fantastic improvement. The AI is playing much more challenging. XD, how's it going, man? Hey, we got everyone dropping in here. Great to see you guys. How's it going? So I was just showing off the revised AI and how it manages the villagers much better. I did point out the fact that I need to add the AI's ability, when appropriate, to tap the old green plus, right? So they can build faster while they're repairing buildings. I lost my first game. Well, that's good. I mean, that means the AI is challenging, right? You know, I mean, it's if you guys saw me playing on Friday, you saw how I had a couple of super close games, right? And I've been playing this game for forever. So the AI has definitely ramped up his skill set. And I'm also playing at a higher skill level. I think I have this set up, don't I? Oh, no, I have it at 5. Okay, that's pretty much probably why I wiped them. Tell you what, I'll bump this back up to something that's like more realistic for me. So let me come over here. Go client users. Alright, and then I'm 1245. Right here. Like so. Search. There I am. And look, I'm online. Let's come down here and go global data. Alright. Come down here, and where's my... Did I miss it? Nope. Level. I'm going to just bump me up to like level 45. Excuse me. So now the AI is going to be playing a much tighter game. So let me just restart this, make sure it picks up on that change. And another thing I did too over the weekend, I was over at my parents' house, and I got them checking out the game as well, and they have, of course, some not exactly high-end Android tablets, and I noticed some severe slowdown on the main page, and I thought that the best guess was the fact that because I had that incredibly, like, the whole screen was covered in a semi-blue transparent, I think that transparency was just destroying the performance, and that's with the water turned off too, that fancy water. So then what I did was just I rethought about the idea of just removing that and just dropping in this little background to separate the buttons from the background. Can't find your game on the App Store iOS. Yeah, you won't find it on the store directly. You have to click the link. Let me bring that back up. That'll take you to Test Flight. If I could click the right thing. Where did I just close it? Oh, there it is. Let me come back over here. Yeah, I'll just grab all these guys. I'll just post them up here again for you guys. But yeah, so Google does it differently. With Google Play, it just throws it on the store and says, hey, this is in beta. iOS, it just gives you a link that takes you to Test Flight. So there is the link right there for beta iOS. And that will bring you to Test Flight, which was a great program until Apple bought it, and then they made it a Apple-only kind of piece of software. But so we still use that. But thankfully they changed it. It used to be you had to get everyone's email to add them to the list. But now they gave me a link, so now I can let you guys just click on it. So if you just, yeah, XD, if you just click on that link for the beta iOS, that'll take you right to the Test Flight, and you should be able to download it with no problem. But, so having said, let's see, when you fully release the game, I'm going to promote it. Thank you, man. Thank you so much. I'm going to need it. Doing PR, doing, advertising has always been my Achilles heel. I'm going to try and improve it this go-around. But it's always a challenge. But so just to catch you up to date, this is my remaining to-do list, right? And this one's super minor. This is just an art change. Let's see if I come back over here, back to customize. Yeah, you can see the wizard's robe is purple, which I did updates on these guys, and I forgot to come back and actually address that. So, on his icons, I got to change that purple to red. That's a minor fix. So that's super nothing. Adding click sounds for all the button presses. I've done that for most of the buttons, but there's still a few buttons I need to add clicks to. Once again, minor. This one's better, a little more meatier, adding, if you have a guest account, you can attach it to a Google Play account, and that way you won't lose anything if you ever have to, if you switch devices, or if you like delete it and reinstall the app. Once you have it connected to Google Play or Game Center, you know, you'll always be able to retain your account. Need to fix the leaderboard display. Right now it's grabbing all the records. I need to make it so it's 10 at a time, so it's much faster. This is what I was working, as you guys saw, the villager management, and I need to teach it how to go after power-ups and when not to go after power-ups. And then finally make the AI work on both red and blue sides, so that way you can't automatically guess, you know, if it's going to be an AI or not. You really did a lot since I last stopped by. That's true, man. I've been working like crazy. I have been. I remember you doing some poses. Oh yeah, back when I was in LA. That was, yeah, I was doing all these guys, and now you can see the end result. Here you go. This is all of them in a collective group, and this is what I was doing it for. So now you can unlock these little guys, right, and choose your character, choose your personality, right. And once you've done that, boom, now you come out here, and you see there's your icon. And then when you play an online game, when will it actually be on the App Store? That is a fantastic question. The answer is, don't know. The game plan is to address those remaining items that you saw here, right? So I'll put these in, and then GDPR compliance, I got to add that to make sure that it makes Europe happy. So these items, I get those plugged in. I release what I consider to be a working beta, I mean a polished, finished beta, right? Release candidate, I'd say even. And then I'm going to work on the gameplay trailer, right? So let you guys keep plugging away on the final test version to look for any more bugs. And then I make the gameplay trailer. Once the gameplay trailer is done, and if there are no more bugs, then it goes out the door. So realistically, probably still a few weeks away before I'm ready to release to the public. But I'm happy to say that the beta has been pretty rock solid. Thankfully, you guys haven't been able to find too many bugs. So that's great news. You know, that means that I can push on and hopefully get this done pretty quickly. But still, realistically, probably still a few weeks, because I also have this animation freelance job that I'm working on, which I actually have on the monitor here above me. I'm on my lunch break right now from the animation work. But so that sort of thrown a little wrench in my works as well. But the animation work probably won't go for much more than maybe another week or 2 weeks, probably. It's TV shows, so, you know, it's insane turnaround schedule. I got to bang this stuff out so fast, so that should take care of itself before too long. And then I can completely refocus on just getting the game done. So that's it. I'm guesstimating within the next few weeks, but, you know, subject to change based on, you know, extenuating circumstances that I can't predict. And then, of course, like next weekend, I'm going to lose next weekend completely because I hope some of you guys are going to be participating in the Global Game Jam. It's going to be my first here in Las Vegas. And if you guys aren't going to make it, come check it out. I'm actually going to stream the Global Game Jam here on Twitch. Animation for the Flash or one of the other series? No, I haven't worked on the Flash. Or it was Flash, Supergirl, Legends of Tomorrow. I haven't worked on that for like a year and a half. That was when I was working in Burbank at a company called Encore. The catch with that was the fact that I had to work in-house. And, you know, it was, when I worked there for 6 months, that, you know, that was a challenge, right? The wife wasn't too crazy about me being away from home for 6 months. So, no, I haven't actually gone back to that. No, this is another TV show, which I haven't told you guys the name because that's part of the NDA stuff. But once the show comes out, I'll give you all the gory details, and I'll tell you specifically what I was doing for it. But, yeah, it's kind of a fun thing. It's always fun to work on, but TV is always chaotic in terms of, like, you know, take your time, but are you done yet? Are you done yet? Are you done yet? You know? So you always try and balance getting it out in time, but still trying to put as much effort in the animation as time permits. So, you know, that's always a good balancing act. But yeah, that's coming along nicely. I when I went to LA, if you guys remember, when I was in LA, I was working on that same show, but then I came home and they were kind enough to give me a remote box that allows me to remote into one of their machines and keep working. So that's the kind of setup I'm in right now. So even though I'm 250 miles away, I'm still working for them. You're a man of many talents. Can't wait to hear more about the secret project. Well, I got a couple, some better than others, but thanks. Yeah, and I look forward to sharing it too. I did mention recently that, and it's a super minor thing, but if you have Hulu and if you are one of the few people that stumble across watching Future Man, Mr. Futterman, Future Man, the TV series, I did some work on that one, just a couple of shots. You know, there's like a title sequence of the dicathlon, and the little characters running across the top and getting eviscerated. So I worked on that. I did that one, and then there's like one giant crane shot across the stadium, and I animated a couple of like mechanical butterflies in that shot. But I mean that, and I can talk about that one because that one's out now. That's all out and visible for you guys. So that one I can discuss. But and then let's see. No, I guess actually I did one shot while I was there in LA for like, I think on Arrow, but it was actually tweaking someone else's other animation, which I don't think that counts anyways. So that's it. That animation hopefully will wrap up in the next couple weeks, and then I can get back to getting this completely out the door with your help. You guys, you can keep plugging away, and what I want to do is update. Right now I have the IP hard-coded to go out to that AWS. I'm going to adjust that and make the IP more dynamic because, you know, if you remember me crying about Amazon AWS and their server time not being consistent sometimes on two different devices, I finally broke down and bought myself a super low-end PC, which I'm going to just run it here in my room and just kind of host the game, at least initially. You know, if the game gets a bunch of traction and starts growing, I'll have to move it off of my server at home here. But at least initially, the game is going to start on my own server here at home. All right. I also noticed you're way better at streaming. Still remember your first stream? Yeah, my first stream, when someone talks, someone puts up chat, and I lean over to like respond, and yeah, I don't know if it was you or someone else that said, no, you could just talk. It was like, oh yeah, I can I? Yeah, sorry about that. Hi. Yeah, it's been a learning experience, but where am I at now? October, November, December, January. So yeah, at this point, there's about 3 months worth of practicing. So, and just getting a little more used to it, getting a little more comfortable. So, yep, learning process. I'm not a pro yet. I'm not exactly like bringing them in by the truckloads yet, but you know, still. Thanks, Merlin. Thanks. You know, but I keep teasing. The fun thing is that you guys are here, you know, in the beginning, and I love that you guys hang out with me. It's so cool. But once I start work on the next game, and once word gets out about what the game is about, you know, it's this. You can expect more people to hang out just for the novelty factor, the curiosity factor of what I'm actually doing, you know. And it'll be fun because of the character that I'm going to be working with. Some people are going to look at the game and they're going to go, oh, that's going to be fun. And some people are going to get really pissed off and kind of go, well, that has nothing to do with the character. That's stupid. This is just dumb, you know. And so it'll be fun because right now this is my game, my creation, completely my original intellectual property. So I have carte blanche, right? But the next one will be using a very famous IP, and everyone's going to have their own opinion of what it should and shouldn't be. Will you work with other people on the next game? Yes. My plan is to, at least somewhat, at least on the art side, my hope is to recruit my artist friend Daniel Thomas, who I've like mentioned countless times. I'm going to try and bring him on to help manage getting me some of the art. I'll still do the animation, and then at least the initial prototyping, you know, because I don't want to bring on a programmer while I'm still trying to figure out what the menu is. You know, while I'm still trying to bring the ingredients together of what the game is and isn't and working on the prototype, I think it's just going to be smarter for me to handle the initial programming. But that could change over time. Once the game starts getting solidified and I have a base idea of what the game should be, then I may start looking at that as well, depending on the complexity and that kind of stuff. But at least on the art side, I'm probably going to farm that out and just so I can step it up and make sure that, you know, my art is good, you know. I mean, I know my skill set. I know where my level is, and I want this next game to be just like drop dead gorgeous. So, you know, I will definitely be getting some help on that just to make sure that it's up to the point I want it to be. So that's it, but that one's still going to be a little ways away. I'm looking forward to jumping on that. And I'll do a whole reveal for you guys. You guys will be here, you know, you'll be the first to hear it publicly, you know, once I announce all that kind of stuff. But, you know, still got a little time before I can pull that off. And that involves me getting this other stuff done. So, and in case you guys missed it, since I was talking about when I first started, unfortunately, this is only going to be a 1 hour broadcast. So I'm already down to 38 minutes before I have to go back to the animation work. But if you guys can make it, I'm going to be coming back on again tonight, right? Around 8 o'clock, like my old LA time slot was. I'm going to come back while I'm doing the freelance work. I'm doing this split broadcast. So I will come back tonight and do a couple more hours as well. So don't forget about that. If you guys can come back, it'll be 8 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And if you guys have the time, come on back and join me there. Gonna go for now. Gonna game a little, celebrating I finished my deadlines. Congrats on the deadlines. Congrats on getting this stuff done. And yeah, dude, go game. Gotcha. And like I said, if you can make it back tonight, I will be here 8 o'clock Pacific Standard tonight. All right? But yeah, man, thanks for coming by. Good to see you again. It's been a long time. All right. So I'm going to try and do a little work here. You did notice, as I was pointing out originally, is I've tweaked the UI just a little bit here. Like on the main menu, I dropped that transparency to try and help with anyone that has an older Android device, right? Because, you know, my parents' device, it was just chugging. And I think it was because I had that full screen transparency. So I tweaked that, customize. 8 p.m. is 3 a.m. for here, sadly. Fair enough. Gotcha. Well, definitely come out. I'll be doing these 1 hour broadcasts during the day, but if you can make it over the weekend too, man, I'll be doing the Global Game Jam and broadcasting that. That's going to be, you want to see what I look like when I melt down, trying to stay up for all those hours and trying to work. If nothing else, just as, you know, for the train wreck value, it should be pretty entertaining, you know. You just watch me go into like a stumbling, stuttering mess. But, all right, man. Well, either way, it's great to see you again. Thanks for coming out. All right, so you can see what I did here, too, is before this is semi-transparent, I would gladly tune in to the weekend to watch. Cool, man. Hope you make it. So, yeah, before this was all semi-transparent, you could see the island behind it, but it was just crushing. All right, Merlin, see ya. Thanks again for coming by, buddy. So this was, I think it's just because of the full screen and the transparency. I've not tested it yet on my parents' device, but my guess is that this is going to fix it tremendously. I'm like, this screen, he was like doing these dragging the characters in, and it was just chewing for him. It was just like so lethargic. So I'm going to get the wizard. I'll put the wizard over here and just do this way, like that. And then, of course, I like the wizard, so I put him as my mascot. Excuse me. So I'm hoping that fixes that. So that's new. I did tackle that over the weekend. Excuse me. And I started to work on adding a range for the player level here. So right now, the only one that I have effective is a skill level of 3, which means that the AI's villager management, he can only do his best right now. And last night, I was working on adding a level 0, and this one is, we can test it out, because I did add all that. Yo, it's my favorite game dev. Hey, Paper Fan Games, welcome, man. And the second best one that streamed. Of course, man. Yeah, I only argue when I think that the person says something wrong, so you know what? I'm not arguing. Welcome, man. Good to see you again. How's it going? All right, so I'm going to drop this to 0. So this is going to be interesting. I've not tested this yet, but these are going to be the values down here. It's 0. So this is when the AI is kind of playing his worst villager management, right? So these are when he's making his worst choices. But I want this to simulate someone that's just starting to play the game and doesn't know the best strategies yet. So this play should be a little more cumbersome in terms of when he sends the villagers out and how many he sends out. And if it looks like, you watch it and kind of go, wait, he shouldn't send out that many, good. Because that means that, this player's still trying to learn the ropes. So, and then, so the level 0 mode should last for about 7 levels, right? So once the player kind of, see, look at that. I only hit one building. He already sent out 2 villagers, right? But then he he sends them back, so he's like confused of what to do. Already starting to look more like a human player that's still trying to understand the best way to play the game, right? So, and then he sends out 2 again, and he's trying, right? And then now he sends out 3. So there you go. To me, that looks like someone that's still learning the game, right? Doesn't know how to best handle it, right? And that's what I'm trying to simulate. And if I knock out everyone, let's see if he, yep, now he tries to send out, oh, and he gets a building. Look at that, he got a building repaired. You jerk. All right. He still leaves out 3, but now I've damaged everything. So I'm going to finish him off. So that's good. But you can see the difference, though. At the day job, but just popping in and saying hello. You're doing great. Keep it up. Thanks, man. Paper fan games. Thank you so much for taking time off the work, man, just to stop in and say hey. I appreciate it. Nice to know that the greatest streamer out there is taking time to tell the not as great streamer, good work, man. I appreciate that. Thanks, man. All right. So I think that was playing okay for me. I think that looks great. And the nice thing is because I have a range here, right? And then this will vary, right? So it's not like the AI will do the same thing every time, right? I want it to be semi-consistent, right? But still mix it up so it feels fresh and more like a human would. I tried the tutorial 2 times just to see if I found any bugs with it, and there don't seem to be any, and the tutorial is really helpful too. Awesome, thanks, man. One of the few game tutorials that actually works. And it didn't used to. I had this, it was funny, it was rare that it happened, but there was one building that, and then right now, I'm going to change this, I think, maybe before I release it. Because right now the buildings get placed randomly, right, for the tutorial. And occasionally the one building that he always targets the same building. But there was one spot where it's supposed to be a direct hit, and I had the values just slightly off. So he would hit, and he would miss the building, and it would never advance, right? And it's just like, you're stuck. It's kind of like, what do I do now, right? I mean, I can't go anywhere, So thankfully, I think that's addressed. I've revised all the AI's hitting abilities, so if he needs to hit a perfect shot, he hits a perfect shot. But good, man. Thanks for the feedback. I'm glad that's instructive for you. That's cool. Okay. So what I need to try and figure out is, now that I have these values, what I might do is just throw this on a notepad, so that way I can kind of balance the values properly. So let me come up here. So I started doing this yesterday and then ran out of time. So this is what the best AI does when he's managing villagers. And then what I want to do is try and get the worst at level 0, and then sort of like bridge between that for levels 1 and 2. If that makes sense. So, you know what? Actually, I think I'll do it this way. I think I might just grab this. I think this might be even cleaner to see for me. Like this. Oh, you know what? Oh, crap. No. I just removed the brakes, but I'll leave the case in there so I know which one it's addressing. Alright, so I think if I have the best and the worst, then I can sort of figure out the 2 that should go in between. I can do the math on that. So, that'll be the game plan. Really? Just getting sluggish there for a second. Alright. Yep. Almost there. Alright. You like my high-tech system? My super advanced software called Notepad? Yes. I spare no expense for my software, I'm telling you, man. Okay. So that's him. Let's come down here. And then we'll match this. Like so. So now we have the best performance and the worst performance. Oh, I have it turned on. Oh. Let me... 1 second. Let me turn that off. There he goes. Okay. Too much tech in my room. Way too much tech in my room. Alright. Alright, that was 9. Let's get 8. Ooh, wait, did I do that right? Come back down here. Ugh. It's funny. I get like the spam calls. I'm sure all you guys get spam calls on your cell phone, but my cell phone is still 323 area code, which is LA. And then, you know, it's like the same extension, like the first 3 digits is my cell phone, right? But I'm in Vegas now. So it's funny. They try and do that, I guess, to try and trick you into going, oh, hey, this might be a legitimate phone number, right? You know, they're calling me. But they don't realize by doing like my old area code and my cell phone extension, it just screams, hey, telemarketer. So I nuke them every time. They never get through. Doesn't stop them from trying, but they never actually get through. You know, and you know they're just spoofing all those numbers anyways, right? I mean, I don't know where they're calling from, but they're trying and failing with me. Alright, so that's 7. Well, I'm here. Let me just... you know what? No, I better do it this way. I don't want to mess this up. So I'll just come down here and just grab everyone all the way down to the bottom. Alright. It's funny, I'm starting to get spoiled by all the different programs now that have the dark mode. So now I'm like staring at this white screen, it's just like blinding. You know, when people first started talking about, you know, all the you know, especially like the Microsoft Visual Studio, it's like, oh, now it has dark mode now, and it's like, what's the big deal? But now that I've started using it, it's like, oh, okay, now it's sort of like I understand it now. Now I can't go back. You know, I was ignorant before and I was tolerant, but now that I understand, it's like crap. Whenever I see this blaring white screen, it's just like, oh, this is brutal. All right, I don't even know if I can do this. It's gonna delete it because I'm using Notepad like an idiot. Yeah, and they still leave a voicemail. Good luck, guys. All right, like so. I'll leave that like that. And bring this in line. Where are we at? Yeah, 135. I'm never going to get through this today. I'm just going to get partially started, then I have to bounce away, go back to the animation stuff, which I forgot about. Oh, crap. Let me make sure. I got to bring this up. In case there's like an emergency, we need this done yesterday kind of thing. What? Come on. Bump, bump. There it goes. Alright, that's good. Sorry about that. Minor distraction. Alright. Whoa, and it just takes off on me. Almost done with this. So, what's going on with you guys? Anyone want to talk about what they did over the weekend? Anything exciting? Not much for me. Mainly just caught up on a bunch of house stuff, you know, chores and other things that I was supposed to have gotten done, but didn't because I was too busy kind of doing all this stuff. And then, of course, yesterday I had to watch some football. Didn't care about any of the teams at this point, but I just wanted to watch some good football and was entertained. It was fun. You know, unless you're a New Orleans Saints fans. I'm sure if you're a New Orleans Saints fan, you are not happy at all right now. I'm not saying it's the worst call I've ever seen in the NFL, but it's no, it pretty much was the worst call I've ever seen in the NFL. If and if you're not a sports watcher, if you don't know what I'm talking about, if you ever come across anyone that likes the New Orleans Saints, they will tell you in great detail about how they were cheated from their Super Bowl trip because of a terrible call by the refs, and it really is embarrassing. I mean, even the announcers, who's it, like Boomer Esiason, when they went to the halftime show, and Boomer Esiason, right, he was a Bengal, I think, right? So it's not like he had a dog in that fight. It's not like he was like some lifelong Saints fan, as far as I know, but he was going, that's unacceptable. That officiating is that is so unprofessional. And he was just like going to town, and it's kind of like, okay, so much for objectivity, man. But yeah, it was one of those things that it's one of the most blatant penalties you've ever seen, and the refs called no penalty. But, if you're a Rams fan, you look at it and kind of go, it's just people playing football. If you're a Saints fan, you're going, that I will never let that, I will never let that go for the rest of my life. Let's see. Oh, wait, did I just grab the wrong thing? I did, didn't I? Oh, crap. Let me double check that. -1. 25. I did. Okay. That's okay. Then I'll just bump this over. 4. Let me come back up here. 4. So it starts at 4, so that's still the same. Oh, it starts at 4. Oh, yeah, that's totally wrong, isn't it? Okay. That's it, man. When I start chatting, I just, I distract myself successfully. Look at that. Okay. So, that's okay. I just need to bump this down, because that is the low performance values. So let me grab these guys and drop them in. This will work. Yeah. All right. And I hate the formatting, but I'm just going to leave it because that's just taking too long. All right. I keep getting these messages from Microsoft saying I have a virus. I know it's a virus, but the email is deleted 1 second after coming to my inbox, so I can block the email. Yeah, my thing is I automatically turn all my emails to text only. Excuse me. So that way I can never get tagged unless I make the effort to display the full email, or God forbid, click on any attachments. But yeah, I think the key thing is definitely dropping it to just ASCII text, plain text, and then at least that way you can't, just by looking at email, you can't get tagged. Excuse me. Unlike my mom, I don't know about you guys, but unlike my mom, she clicks on everything that comes through. It's just like, my mom nuked more PCs in her lifetime, So I finally just hooked her up with a Chromebook, and I go over periodically, and I just, clear off all the crud she's clicked on, so that way I know that I can get her back to the normal state. Plain text okay. After changing that, I will tell you my next problem after that. Sounds good. But yeah, it's like, I keep telling my mom, you don't have to click on everything, But yeah, doesn't stop her. So yeah, funny story too, because my mom, both my parents actually watch a ton of Netflix these days, right? It's what you do when you're retired, right? And just kick it back, right? And she watches it on her Google Chrome, and I have it set up. The Google Chrome feeds into like a 23-inch monitor. So she has this nice display in front of her, right? And she does two things. Number one, she'll, let me get here in the right place. She'll put the mouse, right, over the menu to start it, right? Excuse me. And if you guys are Netflix users, and kind of like most players, right, the controls will stay visible as long as the mouse hovers over it, right? You have to move the mouse off of it, right? And then the display goes away. But my mom will just leave it on there, right? and it won't go away. And I'm showing her, it's like, oh, no, Mom, watch. If you move the mouse off, the display goes away. Oh, and check this out. You don't have to keep using the mouse. If you just tap the space bar, just like this, right? Just tap the space bar, you can start and stop, right? It's so much easier. That way you don't have the thing pop up. And she goes, oh, okay, thanks. I swear to God. Then she turns around and grabs the mouse and hits play again. I just kind of went, okay, I'm out. I tried. You know what? Never mind. You know, go back, leave the mouse on top of it. That's fine. I quit. That's it. Okay, so I deleted 34,000 items from my OneDrive. Holy crap. And it seems like every time I download a game or anything to my desktop, it goes straight to my OneDrive. Okay, yeah, I mean, here's my, let's see, is mine, oh, I do have mine active, okay. Normally I never log into OneDrive. I wish I could just sort of like blast it from, nuke it from space just to be sure. But, yeah, I'm sure there's some setting that determines, I don't know if that's Chrome or your browser that's automatically transferring the stuff over, but I'm sure there's some way. Oh, no, wait, that's email you're talking about, isn't it? No, because if you click in the link, it would actually go to the browser. So, I would check the browser and look for the download settings and see, or maybe it is in the OneDrive, where you can kind of break that link so everything you click on doesn't automatically go over there. But that would drive me nuts, man. I feel for you, because if I was in a situation where it's just constantly like throwing stuff over there and then complaining about how full it is on top of it, I'm sure you probably get that as well. Yeah, I'd be frustrated. I'd be very frustrated. All right, so 4, and then when we get to 3, we start getting a split. So for 3, do like so. Like this. All right. All right. So once again, what I'm doing now is, so what you see on the left, this is the AI playing at his best, right, in terms of villager management. And then the one on the right is the worst he does. And so this is on here, this is level 3, right? And then on the right side is level 0. So I need to do level 1 and 2. And the simplest way, I think, is just to post all these values in front of me, so I can just like not screw this up, and then just split the difference, you know, divide in thirds, so I can get the values incrementally increased. 2. So that's the game plan. Not the most riveting stuff, but necessary, because if I just try and guess values, I'll just make it inconsistent. Alright. 2. Just like that, and then even this, I guess I could on level 0. What happens here is if the AI is down to just the launcher, and if the AI has no, actually that's good. So if the opponent has like no buildings left, then he just says screw it, and he tells everyone to come back. Let's see. You know what? 0. I don't even like that value. I think I want that to be 0.4. Yeah, I'm going to reverse that, because the way I have it right now is beginner guy. You know what? No, I may leave that way. How about this? Okay, I'll switch it. I'll make it 10 and I'll make it like 10 and 15. And 10, 15. All right. So I'm repeating the values here. So 10% of the time he'll send out nobody. So here's the situation. It's he has his launcher exposed, but so does the opponent, right? So the player has, so both of them have their launchers exposed. So 10% of the time, no, I do have that backwards. Okay. I'm gonna say really after 24% of the time. Okay. I can say 70%. Does that sound right? Maybe 70% of the time when it's just launcher versus launcher. 70% of the time he'll tell everybody to run back to the launcher and help charge it up. That seems like a good number. And then let's say 75. So then 5% of the time, because it works in an incremental fashion, right? So 70% of the time, it's gonna just tell everyone to come back. Let's just try and hit the launcher. 5% of the time, he'll let one guy go out to repair a building, and I think I'm gonna leave that like that. 70. You done? Uh-oh. You broke it? Do you need a Chromebook now? Uh-oh. I hope I didn't encourage you to break something, man. I'd feel bad. I don't like swearing, but somehow I just deleted... Whoa! Oh, no. With the OneDrive? Because you deleted it off the OneDrive deleted it off your PC? If that's the case, I would say immediately go back to OneDrive and see if you can do a restore off of the stuff. Hopefully OneDrive didn't permanently delete it, but just put it like in a trash can, maybe? Jeez, I hope that... My wife had that too. She was using Apple's iCloud, and she had the same thing, where she would pull it off of iCloud and it would delete it off her computer. And yeah, she was swearing. She was swearing the same way too. But yeah, you can give me some more info on that, but I don't know. Can you undo a delete off of iCloud and hopefully it restores it? If that's what happened. I'm just theorizing, but geez, man, I'm so sorry about that. Alright, so let me change these values. 70, 75. Oh, no, this name's still not going to work because that means... So... say 90% of the time. 95% of the time. And then 99. There we go. That's what I want. It was not your fault by any means. No. Okay. Right, but I still, at least my desktop is clean. Okay, so immediately check your recycling bin, right? Double click your recycling bin and see, you know, if hopefully it may have just put it in the recycling bin and not done a permanent delete. And if you don't see anything in the recycling bin, and this is because you were telling OneDrive to remove the stuff, I would definitely check OneDrive and see if there's any way you can, like, undo what you just did. I don't use OneDrive, so unfortunately I'm kind of coming at this with total ignorance. But, so I don't know if OneDrive, if you delete something, if it does a permanent delete, and it does that to your system, which, as I mentioned, that's what iCloud does. And I consider that to be almost virus-like, if you ask me. You know, when it attaches itself to your stuff and then says that, yeah, we're going to delete it if you try and get rid of us, that's a virus, man. I consider that to be on par with a virus. So... Jeez, man, I hope you're okay with that. I hope it's okay. That's scary. 95. I don't know what I deleted. It seems like it deleted every other thing. I don't know what I lost. Oh, jeez, man. Jeez, I'm so sorry. But yeah, so the recycling bin? Yeah, what's the status of that? Did you go look in the recycling bin? See if there's any life in there. Fingers crossed. 2050. Let's see. Oh, and I'm down to 10 minutes. Sorry, guys. Crap. Yeah, I didn't make nearly as much headway on this as I hoped I would, but then I only had 1 hour to play with. Okay. At least I got this set up now, so I can start splitting the difference on these guys, which is a good start, I guess. Just kind of space this out here. I deleted everything, and it did not go away from the desktop, and I thought since it did not remove anything, I would clear out my bin. Oh, no! Oh, crap. Okay. Note to future self, don't delete anything. Yeah, I've been burned before myself, I've been burned, and now I'm so paranoid that I have backups of backups, you know. Oh, jeez, man. I'm so sorry. I hope it wasn't anything major. I hope it's stuff that is just that, you know, or just like casual links to crap you don't care about or something. Jeez, man. So sorry. Oh. Alright. That was a legitimate phone call, but I'm still busy, so I'm not going to answer it right now. Okay. So this is what I was talking about. So now... Yeah, I know. Okay. So then what I'm going to do, and this is just going to get old and tiresome, but just split the difference between these guys. Just a small heart attack in the moment, I guess. The major thing I have copied on a memory stick. Oh, that's good. So that's good. At least you've got that. So that's fantastic. Yeah. I did that before too. I tell you, the last time I did that, and I freaked, because I get all that spam in my email, right? And then of course, when you go on your email and you can select a bunch of emails, right, and hit delete, and all that does is it moves it into your trash, your deleted items folder. Then you still have to go over into deleted items folder and purge that, right? But you can bypass that. You can select, you know, files and hit shift delete, and it'll do a permanent delete. And it'll ask you, do you want to do this, right? I did that one time, and I just woken up, right? And I was tired. I was not thinking straight. And I saw the junk mail, and I thought I had it highlighted, but instead I actually had the folder highlighted, right? And I hit shift delete, and it said processing, and it's saying now deleting like 1,000 emails. I'm a pack rat when it comes to emails, and it just started like going across, deleting all of my emails. I'm going, no, you know, and yeah, same situation. I lost a chunk. I'm pretty good about backing my emails up on a relatively regular basis, you know, so even those I have that archived somewhere, but yeah, I lost a chunk that day. So from that moment on, if I ever do emails where I do a shift delete, I pause for a moment, go, wait a second, I make sure I read it, and it says, do you want to delete, you know, this one email? Then I'm cool, you know, but I'm, you know, always terrified of that kind of stuff. You have more important stuff than me too. I would be stressed about emails. Yeah. But yeah, ever since then, man, I've always been like very, very cautious. So, all right. So yeah, this is just gonna be a process. You know, and I mean, it's so this, for example, so it's 60, so it's 40. So so it'd be 40 divided by 3. So what is that? You need to come up with 2. So it's 100 minus 60 divided by 3 equals 13. So let's see. So 100 minus 13 equals 87. Minus 13 would be 74. And then 13. Yeah, so that's going to be right. Yeah. So this is what I'm going to have to do, is just kind of split the difference for all these guys. So for example, so it's, whoops, comma, 87, and then 85 divided by 3 is 28 and a third. So that's 72. 28 off of that is 76544, and then 28 off of that would be, oh, that ain't right. Oh no, I'm going up, aren't I? So it's 30, so it, oh crap. So it's 28. 56, oops, 56, and then 28 on top of that, 5, 6, 7, 84. Yeah, that's close enough. You are like the next level doing stuff. What are you coding in the notepad thingy? This is, yeah, this isn't even like coding. This is me trying to come up with the math here. So, what this is on the left side, oh, and I'm like down to my last 4 minutes. Sorry, guys. So on the left side here, this this code right here. This is what happens when the AI is playing his best game and him managing the villagers, right? Deciding when to send the villagers out to repair buildings and when not, okay? And then on the right side, over here, this is the AI at his most naive, right? This is his worst play for villager management. And I have it in a 4-tier system. So, for beginner, this is 0, and then for his best, this is 3. So I have 2 in between. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking his worst value and his best value and just dividing by a third to come up with, a good range for, skill level 2, and skill level 1. So, literally at this point I have this value is 100 and this value is 60. So if I divide it in the thirds, that means that it goes 100, 87, 74, 60, right? So then I have boom, 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 those 4 different structures for the player, or for the AI's management rather. And then let's see, go 0, and then so 0, and it's gonna be 33. This one's easy because it's 99, 66, and then 0, and then that's 0, 0. So the last one is 0, 0, 0, 0. There. So what I have now, and I'll space this out so I can see this a bit better, like so. Do this like so. So it's a start. But so there you go. So what this situation is when so case 10, that means that the AI has all 10 of his buildings completely intact, right? So in that given moment, when the AI is playing his best game, 100% of the time he tells all the villagers to stay home. There's no reason to go out. There's no buildings to repair, right? Level 2, and you know what? I may have to do a scale on this because that's still not. If he's really good, there's no reason to set these other values. But so I may split the difference on this. So, but just going the whole realm down, right? In the beginner, the AI at any given moment, he will always have 40% of the time he'll have some villagers set to go out whenever the occasion arises, right? And then if he has one building hit, 45% of the time he'll send out at least a villager, right? So that's it. That is what I'm trying to set up here, and just trying to split the difference here. So I have the best performance and the worst performance of villager management, and I just need the 2 that go in between, which I will pick up again tonight because I am unfortunately already out of time. So super short. I'm so sorry about that, but I do have the paying gig. I have the animation freelance work for the as yet unnamed TV show. Sorry to tease, but I will tell you guys once the show comes out. I'll tell you exactly all the details about it. But I do have to go back to work on it now to try and get that banged out. Hopefully get at least this episode done so I can do that global game jam over the weekend. Right? That's the game plan. Hopefully see you next stream. It was nice chatting for more than 5 minutes. You too. And dude, I'm once again, man, so sorry about the email. I'm so sorry about your files, man. That's the old thing where you wake up in the middle of the night and you wake up, you feel like you're back in high school and you forgot to study for a test. Deleting files to me is on par with that emotion, man. So I completely feel for you right now. So, I hope it turns out well. I hope you find out that the stuff you lost is stuff that was no big deal anyways, but man, once again, so feel for you. But, guys, thanks. Super short broadcast. I'm so sorry, but I will come back on tonight at 8 o'clock, 8 Pacific time. So if you're hanging out and you're around, come back and join me tonight. I won't know before I need what I lost. Oh, God, that's a scary, scary feeling, I know. Oh, jeez. All right, so that's it, guys. 8 o'clock. If you can make it back tonight, come on and hang out. I'm at the last stretch of this thing. I'm so close to getting this out. Once I get this dialed in, and you know what, I may stop down on this because it's kind of boring just doing the math. I may set up the dynamic IP address, and if I have that plugged in, then I'll offer you guys an updated version with all these fixes that you've seen since the latest one that I uploaded, so you guys can play with all the new bells and whistles that are working nicely. So, but that'll come up tonight. So thanks again, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out, and I hope to see you tonight. If not, I'll be back on Wednesday. Once again, doing this abbreviated broadcast. Sorry about that. But if you want more, hang out with longer, then don't forget my Discord. You can always hit me up on Discord. Have a nice day. You too, Walkie-Talkie Stephen Hawkins, man. Good to see you again. Thanks for coming out. But yeah, chat with me in Discord while I'm offline. Otherwise, come back tonight or come back during the week. All right, guys. Take care, and I'll be talking to you soon. Adios.